Everybody's asking, is there going to be a recession and how is it going to impact the home purchase or the refinance? And everybody's asking, is the housing market going to crash because the prices are quite a bit higher than they were a couple of years ago? And I don't know the answer to either of those, but I do have some facts and math that are going to help you know what's probably going to happen. Here's a fact. The majority of the homeowners in the United States have 50% equity in their homes right now. That was not the case during the last housing market crash. Worth noting, the amount of loan that people have on their house is dramatically lower than what the houses are selling for or what they're currently worth. Here's a fact. The job market is as strong as it's ever been. So people are employed and people are making a great living. And so their ability to pay a mortgage is still very good right now. Here's a few facts. There are currently 3 million fewer houses for sale right now than there was the last time the housing market crashed. In addition, there's currently an estimated demand of 5 million houses that haven't been built yet, that need to be built in order to fulfill the need for housing. And another thing is there are 14 million more potential home buyers that could buy a house that weren't around years ago, the last time the housing market crashed. All that saying, we don't have enough supply of houses right now for the number of people that would like to buy houses. Another fact, there have been 8 defined recessions since the 60s. And looking back over all the data, home prices generally went either flat or up during and after the recessions that happened. So recession, a word that people use to indicate that the economy is having trouble, does not mean falling home prices. Another fact, children have lived with their parents longer than they ever have before. And you know what they eventually need to do? They need to move out and they need to buy a house. The whole entire demographics of children leaving the home to getting their own home has shifted almost a decade, and now it's catching up, driving the need for housing up. So the demand for housing is again higher than what we have available, and there are a lot of new buyers entering the market because almost a decade went by where a lot of people delayed the eventual purchase of their first home. In conclusion, could bad things happen? Yeah, there's a lot of crazy stuff looking out over the horizon. Our home price is going to crash. It seems hard to imagine that happening based on all the data. But bottom line is, if you can afford a house, there's a lot of reasons to support the decision to go ahead and buy a house, looking at all the data. If you can't afford a house right now, best thing to do is learn how the whole deal works, get yourself in position, because eventually you're going to want to buy a house. And so if it isn't today, then you need to be getting prepared to do it. And if you can do it now, the market actually suggests that there's a lot of reasons to believe that in spite of the prices, in spite of the cost, it's probably still a great idea to buy a house. So go for it.